Welcome to Woodstock City Council. It is Thursday, April the 1st, 2021. This meeting is being held electronically in accordance with Section 238, subsection 3.3 of the Municipal Act and Section 16.6.24 of the City of Woodstock Procedural Bylaw. This meeting is being live streamed to the city's YouTube channel, and a recording of this meeting will also be posted on the city website following the meeting. An agenda of the meeting can be found on the Agenda, Meetings, and Minutes page of the city's website. Councillors will be raising their hands in view of the webcam when moving a motion, requesting to speak, and when a vote is being taken. If a member of council is disconnected or having technical difficulties, we will take a recess in order to attempt to rectify the issue. If technical difficulties exist that prevent the meeting from continuing, the meeting will be adjourned and reconvened at a later time. If a councillor needs to leave the meeting at any time, they're requested to inform the clerk. And with that, I would ask that the councillors turn on their web cameras. Welcome, everyone. Any disclosure of conflict of interest? Seeing none. Disclosure of new business. Matters arising from the minutes. That'll take us to the minutes from our last regular meeting held March 18th. Councillor Lauder.
Thank you. Moved by myself, second by Councillor Tate, that the minutes of the regular meeting of the Woodstock City Council held on March the 18th, 2021 be adopted.
Thank you. Any errors or omissions in the minutes? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And we have no presentations or delegations today, no planning reports. So our next item of business is consideration of correspondence. Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, Worship. I'll move that Woodstock City Council add the name Bill Gillespie to the list of suggested street names under the local history category.
Thank you. And seconder, Councillor Lauder. Discussion. Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, Your Worship. In the letter of correspondence, you can see all that Bill contributed to the community, not just as a teacher and basketball coach, but Terry Fox. And he was quite a very active member in our community. I think everybody knew Bill. I especially knew him as he was my neighbor for many, many, many years. I would just ask that even though we add the full name to the list, as we have done in the past, we've found that having first and second names to be a bit awkward when street naming does occur, that when and if his name is chosen for a new street, that it be Gillespie Ave or Gillespie Road or something. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Accioni.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just more of a statement, really. I want to thank the whole Gillespie family. I know Bill has always been a great man. He's been a teacher of mine, a coach of mine, a friend, a fellow Lions Club member. He's just an amazing man. Nobody deserves us, in my recent memory anyways, more, and certainly will approve this. And just thanks to the family for always sacrificing so many hours away, because I know he spent it not only at the school, but Terry Fox running everything else. And this is the least I think we can do to support this. So thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Schattenberg.
Just going to say a couple of the events that were mentioned. One was sort of high school related. The Captain's Veterans Basketball Games raised a lot of money, especially for things like food shelters. And it was also sort of a great send-off to the graduating basketball players of the city of Woodstock in the Captain's Veterans format. Usually hosted at Huron Park, of course, where Bill was from. The other event I wanted to mention was the WDDS Sports Celebrity Dinner. He was also involved with that for many, many years as well. So he's very, very recognizable to the Lions Club and so many other groups and organizations. I would certainly be in favor of this.
Maybe while we're waiting for the mayor to unfreeze, I just wanted to make a comment that to express thanks to Peter Ewing, who was a colleague and great friend of Bill's, for bringing this forward. Peter has continued to support Bill's memory since he passed. So thanks to Peter as well.
Okay, the rest of us are now back. Thanks for continuing on. Further discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And next on the agenda, we have the reserve and reserve funds and additional capital projects. So the update on our position from 2020 and where we're projecting for 2021. Councillor Tate.
I'll make the motion to receive as information.
Thank you. And a seconder. And looks like I've got a bit of a technical difficulty again. Sandra has hers. Councillor Talbot, seconded by Councillor Talbot. All those in favor? And it's unanimous. All right. Might be just my screen right now. I'm still frozen. Councillor Tate is active, but the others are frozen. Next item on the agenda is the demolition completion at 486 to 488 Dundas Street. Councillor Accioni.
Yes, moved by myself that Woodstock City Council allocate $65,000 to fund the necessary structural demolition work for 486 to 488 Dundas, with funds to be drawn from the reserve for capital project.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Tate. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And next item on the agenda, we have the United Way lease renewal for 447 Hunter Street. Councillor Schadenberg.
Yeah, I make a motion that Woodstock City Council authorize the mayor and clerk to sign the amending agreement with United Way of Oxford for the lease of 447 Hunter Street.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Accioni. Discussion? Councillor Schadenberg.
I know we have Len Magyar on this evening or this afternoon, Mayor Birch, that maybe he can comment on the sort of the uniqueness of this lease opportunity we've had ongoing with the 447 Hunter Street, which people might recognize the address as being the former art gallery next to the library, but it's a very unique lease opportunity that's ongoing with the United Way of Oxford.
And thank you, Your Worship, through to Councillor Schadenberg and Council. So this is a situation where we have been leasing the former art gallery to United Way. They've been through one term and they're now in a position where they want to renew for a second term. What makes this agreement a little bit different is in the past, we've had situations where major maintenance items basically fell to the tenant. And what we're recommending in this case is that now fall to the city. So we've had challenges in the past, some other lease situations as well, where we're relying on the tenant to do certain things to, say, upgrade the furnace system. I think as the city, we would like to see it done a little more regularly, which is really why we're bringing this forward to take those potential longer term maintenance issues off the table. We did have a situation where we had a tenant in another building where they never changed the filters or anything along those lines on the furnaces. And we actually ended up spending a fair amount of money at the end because they didn't do that. So this is basically, in my opinion anyways, is a much more progressive way to go.
Thank you. Further discussion? And seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And our next item on the agenda is the delegation of authority to sign grant applications. And we'll go with Councillor Accioni.
Yes, moved by myself that Woodstock City Council refer the report regarding delegation of authority to sign grant applications to the bylaw section of the agenda. And further, that city policy GA017 delegation of powers and duties be updated accordingly.
There we go. Thank you. And a seconder on that one. And we'll go with Councillor Tate. Discussion. And no discussion? No. All right. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And next one on the agenda, we have the Fire Safety Grant Program. Looking for a mover, and we'll go Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll move that Woodstock City Council authorize the mayor and the clerk to sign the Fire Safety Grant Transfer Payment Agreement with the Office of the Fire Marshal, and that necessary bylaw be read.
Thank you. And a seconder. And we'll go with Councillor Lauder. Discussion. And we'll go Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, Your Worship. I just wondered, the Chief Slager is with us presently. Maybe he'd like to speak to it.
Certainly, thank you, Your Worship, through to Councillor Talbot for the invite for speaking. So this is a very unique opportunity that the Province of Ontario Fire Services have received through the OFMEM. They've recognized that there are some challenges that many of the fire services are facing, both through kind of budgetary aspects due to COVID, and also with some changes coming through with the closure of the Ontario Fire College. So we feel very fortunate to receive this grant, and we've been able to earmark it towards some training initiatives that, through our deliberations with the operating budget for the 2021 year, that we had reductions in our training area as one of the accounts that we focused on for reducing. This winds up actually bringing back virtually all of that money that we had reduced from the public coffers. So it's a great opportunity for us to continue moving with the training programs and initiatives that we had originally planned for.
Very good news. Further discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And now we have no notices of motion or new business. So next up is the bylaws. Councillor Lauder.
Thank you. I'll move that the following, just a minute, moved by myself and second by Councillor Schadenberg, that the following bylaws be given a first and second reading. 9448-21, a bylaw to provide for the delegation of powers and duties by council in order to authorize various staff members to sign compensation, funding, subsidies, and grant submissions and applications on behalf of the City of Woodstock. 9449-21, a bylaw to authorize the execution of the Fire Safety Grant Transfer Payment Agreement between Her Majesty the Queen and Right of Ontario, as represented by the Office of the Fire Marshal and the Corporation of the City of Woodstock.
Thank you. Discussion? Seeing none, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. Councillor Lauder.
Thank you. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Talbot that the following bylaws be given a third and final reading. 9448-21 and 9449-21.
Thank you. You've heard the motion. All those in favor? And carries. And so that is it for the official business today. So next up, we'll have our questions and addresses. So we'll start today with Councillor Tate.
I just want to comment, Councillor Talbot, myself and the mayor attended a meeting with the BIA. We're all aware we have an issue downtown. It's not an easy fix. If it was an easy fix, it would have been done by now. Councillor Talbot has consulted with the county quite a bit, and I had a meeting with the county CAO, and I just want to leave this comment that the CAO mentioned and reminded me and everybody out there that homelessness and affordable housing are two completely different items, and they should not be confused and associated with one another. And just still waiting for Ford to come on the TV, I see, but probably going to announce another lockdown. So please, everybody, get takeout when you can with our local restaurants, because this is killing them. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you. Councillor Talbot.
Thank you, Worship. I appreciate Councillor Tate commenting about our meeting and the differentiation between homelessness and affordable housing, because there is a big difference. And as she said, if we had a solution, it would have been done a long time ago, but it's not that we're not doing anything, and we're not alone in this battle ourselves. Other than that, I guess the news of the lockdown, I've been waiting to see what was happening myself, and there is nothing yet, but it looks like we're going to be in for another 28 days. Thank goodness the weather's improving, and we'll be able to at least go enjoy our properties if we have them, or a backyard. And with that, just hope that everybody, even though with the news, could still enjoy Easter if it's just with your immediate family, or your household, I guess is the best way to put it.
Thank you. And we'll go Councillor Lauder.
Thank you. I was just wondering if Mr. Crinklaw is on so that he could speak about the large garbage pickup. I noticed a lot of people are putting their items out, and I'm sure that there's dates, but if he could just speak to that, or the city engineer, whoever's available.
Okay, through the mayor. Yeah, so through the last budget deliberations, council approved that bulk item collection be conducted only once a year. And since spring cleanup generates the most volume, we decided to keep the spring cycle effectively. This year, the pickup begins the week of the April 8th, but we asked residents to check their city services calendar, which was just mailed out a couple weeks back. Alternatively, they can look on the city website. There is a PDF version of that calendar, or use the county's Wasteline app for that information.
Thank you for that information. And everyone just look at their calendar, as he's saying, and not put their garbage out, or if they're large items, I should say, out too early, so that they're littering up our streets. And just telling everyone to get their vaccination. I've had mine, and my husband has had his, and there was no lineups. My husband was in the Woodstock one. They were just fantastic. Took him in, and within a half an hour, everything was done. So please get out there and get your vaccination, and hopefully we can get through this and have a great summer with COVID-free, or as close to COVID-free as possible. Wishing everyone a happy Easter with their families, or those in their household, which I guess that's what we have to stick with. And hopefully we get through this quickly. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Accioni.
Thank you. Yeah, I just really want to wish everybody a happy Easter from my family to yours. Again, for your patience this past year and a bit now. Certainly holidays are not the way they normally are, especially with my family as well. We always get together, so it's going to be a different holiday again, but be patient. Vaccines, get your vaccine as soon as you can. My mom is actually getting her vaccine any minute right now, literally. So we'll be getting it as soon as it becomes available to myself. So please support small business, or order from the restaurants, support them downtown anytime you can. Said this lots. We go to them when we need things as sponsoring teams and things like that. And they really, really need us right now. So please get out there, support them, be safe, wear a mask, wash your hands and everything else. But we still got to support these small businesses to get us through this. Okay. Everybody be safe. Happy long weekend. Happy Easter. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Councillor Schadenberg.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Everything's been well said by others. I did want to mention a bit of an obit announcement. Allison Downey, who I worked with at the Sentinel Review back in the 1990s when I was there in the sports editor. She was the managing editor and city editor and various other roles at the Woodstock Sentinel, and then went on to bigger and better things, bigger newspapers and whatnot. But she did pass away from cancer about 10 days ago. She had been suffering off and on with the disease for a number of years. But so at some point in time, I want to come up with some sort of a recognition thing for her, and just sort of keep Allison Downey and her family in your thoughts and in your memory. She's passed away just within the last 7 or 10 days from this meeting. Thanks.
Well, thank you. And again, stay up to date with what's going on in the Friendly City, with what's on Woodstock Magazine and on the city website. And everybody try to enjoy the fresh air and sunshine when you can. We have lots of great opportunities on the trails and lots of things that you can do to maintain that positive mindset and take care of yourself both physically and spiritually here in our community. So with that, happy Easter, everybody. And Passover is on right now for the Hebrew community, and it'll be finishing up on Sunday as well. So happy Passover, happy Easter, and enjoy spring. With that, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn. Let's see, Councillor Accioni and a seconder. Councillor Schadenberg, you've heard the motion. All those in favor? And